One day a farmer got bored, and he decided to go ahead and take the day off and go amongst the mountains that surrounded his farm to have a little adventure. On his hike he came across a very large eagle's nest. Now he'd seen them many times before, but this one in particular caught his attention because within it was one small white egg. The egg was still warm, and he looked around and could not see any of the other siblings, nor the mother or the father eagle, so he decided out of compassion and partly out of curiosity, he took the egg gently and carried it back to his farm to see if he could help it hatch. He placed it underneath his prized hen and waited. The weeks went by, and lo and behold, the eggs began to hatch, and amongst all the little chicks was one little eaglet. The first thing that eaglet saw was the face of the mother hen, and from that point on, he believed he was a chicken. He grew amongst the other siblings there and learned to act like a chicken. He clucked and he pecked at the ground and ate the chicken feed and ate the little bugs, and for all intents and purposes, he was a chicken. For most of his life, he lived this way and believed that he was a chicken indeed. He never looked up. They always looked down at the ground. But one day, a large shadow passed overhead, and himself, as well as the other chickens in the yard, looked up and saw this great bird flying overhead. He looked at the other chickens and said, "What is that?" And the other ones replied, "That is an eagle. They are the kings and queens of the air, while we are simply those of the ground." He said, "I would sure like to fly like that." And they laughed at him and they said, "No, you are a chicken, and that is all you will ever be, and the ground is your domain." Well, that lit a fire within his heart, and he knew that there was something more to life than being just a chicken. So he said, "I think I can fly." And of course, the other chickens in the yard rolled on the ground and laughed at him and said, "There is nothing more for you in this life but to be a chicken. It is your destiny, and that is all you have to do." Well, he couldn't believe him. So he slowly worked his way up and hopped until he got on top of a fence and jumped and fluttered and fell to the ground amongst all of their laughter. But he still did not believe that that was all there was to his life. So as the days passed, he practiced and practiced, and sure enough, one day he was able to fly from the fence onto the farmer's roof. And from there on, he took off and headed into the skies and remembered that he was an eagle. Ending number 2. He spent his life as a chicken, never knowing what his true potential was. Every so often, another eagle or great bird would fly overhead, and he would peer above with tired old eyes, wishing within himself that he could take the chance and see if he could fly. But he never did. This is a story with 2 endings, very much like your life. You have the choice to live your life as a chicken, to live it as others have dictated for you to do so, or you can remember who you are and take off and fly and become that eagle that is within all of us. There's a saying that goes that your destiny is the path that you choose, and fate is what you get when you do not choose, when you let others do it for you. You are within yourself the shining elven child of light. You can either remain in the darkness and live the life that others tell you to live, or you can remember who you are. You are that eagle. You are that elven light. Take off and soar. It is your choice. Namaste.